In the tomb, we found 2 skeletons, and then we didn't find the body of that one of his adopted daughter, correct?
That's right. Y'all, Nawalia's sarcophagus was empty.
Yeah, there was a tomb, just no body.
Right.
And they said because it was probably burned up.
Yeah, because they believe it was destroyed in the fire.
Okay.
You also did not find Father Ezekiel's body. His body seems to have been stolen.
Gotcha.
Right.
All right. So, we cut back in to our heroes gathered around this table. Cordova has just, laid out his life story, essentially. Letting y'all know he came back in time from a future where the Runelords have risen. They've come back into power, and everything is terrible.
They used the name in the movie.
Yeah. Oh, they said the name. We're done. But where's that? Oh yeah, the Runelords returned to power. There's monsters that stalk the earth. There's giants and dragons and people. And, he's told y'all it's a pretty awful time to be alive. And he's come back to try and prevent that from happening, and wanted to see if y'all were willing to join him.
Bennett?
Yeah.
That was my question to everybody. I had explained that I was from the future, 163 years into the future. And I told them that if we continue down this road, it's going to take us on a grand adventure to save the Earth, save Galarian. And I asked if they would want to go on that adventure.
I think Cthulhu would want to go on that adventure. Just, kind of curiosity. So yeah, I'm all on board with that.
Okay, good. Essentially, I explained that if we continue pulling strings, we're going to get somewhere with this. He doesn't know much more than that because history has now changed from what he was expecting. So, going forward, he's not exactly a visionary. He doesn't know the answers to everything because it's all changed.
Sounds cool.
So we shouldn't trust him with the stock market. Got it.
Exactly.
Right, it's early morning. I should have made a NPC or a character token for this guy, but I still haven't. It's early morning, and as y'all are finishing up your conversation, you're gathering your things to stand up and head on out of the tavern. I believe was y'all's plans. The small gnomish man, played by Mike Myers, comes into the tavern. He has to tell Amiko something. Hey, Amiko. And she, yes. I need to let you and all of your wonderful patrons know that last night's cathedral grand opening has now been rescheduled for today at noon. In light of last night's unfortunate events. And he sees you guys as they're the men of the hour right now. And he makes his way over to y'all. Y'all put on quite a show last night. Made quite a spectacle of yourselves.
Does he mean during the combat?
Yes. Well, I mean, not only did y'all defeat all those goblins, but I believe a few of you are our local town champions at a couple of events, if I'm not mistaken, right? Our new fastest man in Sandpoint. He looks over at Cthulhu. Yeah. One of our strongest citizens paired up with this monster of a man, and he motions to Musashi. Y'all won the tug of war.
Aye.
Yes, y'all have already made quite a name for yourselves, and we don't even know your names.
Not a bad thing.
Do we know this guy? Have we met him before? I don't remember.
Y'all have. He was the announcer for the festival. Y'all haven't met him, but I mean he knows things that go on around town. He's essentially like the local town crier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Smells of exposition to me.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. But
Coincidentally, you guys don't know his name.
coincidentally, what is your name, good sir?
Me? I am Frank. Frank Exposition.
Frank Exposition.
I think I know your brother.
Yes, I do indeed have a brother. His name's Tip.
So, I know that we had planned off to go and talk to the goblin, but I'm not sure what to ask this guy. If anyone has any ideas.
He's got it for you if y'all want to.
Trying to think of what to even ask him.
I'll ask him, what do you know anything about this goblin invasion? Have you heard anything as to the cause of this?
That's a good question.
From what the sheriff has told me, there seems to have been some sabotage at the gate. We don't know who's responsible for that yet, but I believe he's got some fine men on the case for it. That's as far as we know about the source of the attack.
Sabotage from the inside. Do you know anything? Okay. He says that's all he knows about that, right? So.
Yeah.
Do you have a history of necromancy here in Sandpoint? Would you know anything? Could you speak to that?
I do know that the local Tarandarok Academy says that the necromantic magic that they teach, what little bit they do, is especially strong. You know, that stronger than it would be at other academies. They try not to let that out, though.
Well, forgive me, sir. I'm not from around here. What is this Tarandarok Academy you're speaking of?
Tarandarok Academy is the local school where all of our children go to learn various things, and we have a few magic users that practice up there and teach wizardry and teach our children to be young clerics.
Are you do you attend yourself?
I did.
Did you know anyone there who may have been particularly proficient with necromancy?
Yes. I believe young Pseudo Kaijitsu. He showed a little bit of skill during his time, and I believe that girl that was rather mysterious about town, young Nawalia. But of course, you know what happened with her.
I don't.
No.
Enlighten me.
You tell us.
She died in the fire of the church.
Oh, was that the girl?
Yeah.
She died in the fire of the church.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you haven't played for 3 weeks.
Then why do we have a tomb for her if she died in the fire of the church?
Cordova looks over at Argus. He's like, they never found her body, if I remember correctly.
You're correct.
Correct, but she was presumed dead after. The worst part of the fire was centralized in her area of the cathedral. That's why Father Tobin and his acolytes were trapped. We presume Nawalia was trapped as well, and her body was burnt, beyond recognition.
Do we know what started the fire? Was it a freak accident? Did somebody knock a candle over?
I believe no one knows what started the fire.
No one knows exactly. Yes, it does appear to have been an accident, because there were no accelerants found, or no remaining auras of magic in the area.
Cordova's looking over at Argus and Musashi, kind of making eyes like.
And this was 5 years ago?
Yes, give or take.
And where is this pseudo jujitsu guy now? We haven't seen him around town.
I want a sense motive.
That's fine.
And he's part of the Tizitsu family, so he's pretty what is it?
Kaijitsu.
And he's part of the Kaijitsu family, so they're pretty popular in Sandpoint. Didn't they help found the town?
They did, but Pseudo left a few years back. He left after the death of his mother. Right around the time that Amiko returned. He gestures to Amiko, who's busy bussing tables and serving people.
Yeah. Do you know the relationship between Amiko and
sister and brother? She told me.
Yeah.
Sister and brother.
So what was our sense motive, by the way?
4.
4.
Of course, Tell the truth.
You're not quite sure, but you think this guy's doing a Monty Python bit. Like,
I've seen this in a movie.
I've seen this somewhere.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess you can't get a read on it one way or the other. But to anyone who will do better than a 4, he seems to be on the level. Like he's being very frank and honest with you. Yeah. Okay. 5. Yeah, 5. He's being very forthright.
There you go. I can't beat
guys.
two.
Way to go.
Nice. Even better.
We trust him completely.
Implicitly,
like,
you would give him your children.
Would you get those
Cordova's-
coconuts?
Frank, tell me, do you know anything about the goblins in this area? Because my understanding is that it seems to be that the different tribes of goblins are working together, which is apparently uncommon, right, Argus?
Yeah, they are. Like, I noticed a couple of different markings, colors, tribal symbols on some of them. That's why I want to go talk to the goblin that's in the holding tanks at the sheriff's office.
Yes, we have had reports that the goblins who attacked the city were from up to 5 different tribes. I believe here the tribe.
Mossy toads.
Yeah, those
7
tribes
tooths.
were the bird cruncher goblins who live on the western edge of the city in a place called Devil's Platter. Traditionally, these goblins are generally the least aggressive, so it was surprising to see them in the attack. To the east, we have the 7-tooth goblins of Shankswood. These goblins have secured a place for themselves by raiding our junkyard from time to time and rebuilding the stolen refuse into armor and weapons.
And where's your junkyard?
The junkyard is just off of Junker's Cliff, right over there at I believe it's the east side of town. We just throw all of our trash off the cliff, and the beach gives it back to the ocean.
Okay. So basically, you pollute
sounds
the ocean
related.
and kill the animals in there. Gotcha.
No. See, we only throw away natural objects like metals and styrofoam. The beach is full of
Styrofoam?
them. Yeah. Just natural things.
Okay.
Dead bodies, all those things. They just wash out to ocean.
Well, Frank, let me ask you, what were you coming in here for when you saw us? Were you looking for something?
No, I had to spread the news that the grand opening ceremony has been moved to noon, with Sheriff Hemlock and Mayor Devrin and Father Xantus. All their speeches will take place at noon.
The grand opening of what? I forgot.
The grand opening of the cathedral.
Oh, okay. The cathedral's not open yet.
No.
Well, yes and
Okay.
no.
Yes and no. All right.
Like, it's open. They've obviously been using it because of the attack, but like they haven't
Renovated.
done their ceremony that they were gonna do.
Okay. He's like, okay. So at noon, you say, is there anything that we can do to assist?
I don't believe so. Everything seems to be under control at the time. There are some merchants down in Merchant Square. Vin Vinder has his shop up and running today for the citizens who lost property in the raid. He's selling items at a 75%. He's selling items at a 25% discount today, by the way. Just for
Oh, nice.
yeah, just to help anybody who's lost.
Remind me, I
I
gotta
believe,
link to the inventory.
Yeah, I believe the jeweler is open, and as well as the Hag's Fish. Verna's Fine Clothing is most likely open, as well as the potion shop, and I don't believe you'll find Broderick Quint though. He's most likely
I love you,
preparing.
baby girl.
Sorry, I got a little fast there. Yeah, Broderick
Can I have a kiss?
Quint. Broderick Quint is most likely preparing for a speech as well, so I don't believe you'll find the sage to be.
All right. Says, all right, Mr. Frank Exposition, we will see if it's possible to attend these speeches in this grand opening for sure.
Okay. Good.
And does he leave? Nobody had any questions?
Yeah, if nobody has any more questions.
No.
He's all right, well, y'all have a wonderful
Not that I can
day.
think of.
And he's going to scamper on out.
Scamper on out.
And it's right about this time that, and if y'all want to talk to him, if y'all want to save him for later, Aldern Foxglove walks down the stairs and makes his way towards the table, so he can get himself some breakfast. So, if y'all look interested, he might come over and talk to you, but if y'all want to head just out, then we'll do that part later.
I think we're kind of leaning into the table right now because Cordova's like,
Yeah.
I don't think that fire was an accident, and it may be obvious to say that.
I agree.
Seems like a cover-up.
That's what it seems like. We can't find anything of her, and she just poofed.
Right. And for the town to make a shrine or of her, seems like more than one person knows that it's a cover-up.
I just gotta say, it's weird that you guys think that because they have a grave and no dead body, that obviously it's a cover-up. Like, how often do people like actually get their remains destroyed in a?
That's not the only reason. I mean, it also coincides with the late unpleasantness and this tragic period of loss,
And then
the
then
potential
it
rise
started-
of the Runelords, and all of these things that are in Cordova's mind immediately makes him suspicious.
And then for Argus, it's the fact that fire gets hotter over time in the same area as like nature. So she was in the hottest part of the fire.
Mhm.
Like he doesn't mind the grave being empty. Like he understands that. It's sentimental. But there's other stuff to it.
Okay.
She may or may not be dead, but I believe it's something worth investigating.
Yeah.
I mean, it can be.
We have to pull at all the strings that we find until something unravels. And I believe Aldern may actually be a good source of information.
I think Aldern is going to be a good source of information because he has connections. Didn't we say, he had like connections, or he was like from another town, like a prominent area of a town?
He's an aristocrat here in this town. We're all whispering about him at the table, looking over at him.
I thought
somebody roll a knowledge local.
I don't have it.
I don't have local.
I don't think I have local. Let me double check. Come on, tablet.
I can do history.
I can do.
Oh no, I do have a knowledge local.
Oh, thank God.
I do. I
Someone
forgot.
the most useful skill in the game.
20 plus 4.
Oh crap!
16.
Hey, every time we roll on 120, it kicks me off.
All right.
What? Why would rolling? Oh, does he not have the 3D dice enabled?
Oh, maybe something's wrong with it.
It might be hard because he's I think he's playing on
a cell phone.
So,
if you have 3D dice turned on, turn it off. Maybe that'll fix it.
Yeah, maybe that'll help.
You can see the results in the chat part of it.
Should we all turn it off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead and turn it off, and then scroll down and hit reconnect.
Un momento.
All right. Here we go. All right, but 16. Bennett, did you want to roll?
All right.
Yeah, I will. I don't have knowledge local though.
Okay. 16 is good enough. Musashi, as you were making your way through Varicia, you passed by a fairly large tract of land known as Foxglove Manor. So he's not exactly from the town, but he's close. He's within a half a day's travel of town. So he's somewhat of a local noble, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean he's not exactly going to be king of the town.
I
think it would behoove us to invite him along.
Probably wouldn't hurt.
While y'all
are from the area.
going to talk to him, Argus is going to stay back.
Okay.
Okay.
Cordova's going to get up and.
I mean, he'll go with you. Like he'll follow. He's just not going to talk a lot because of him not being from Sandpoint, Argus is a little weary of him.
Okay.
I'll go over here.
Yeah, Cordova's gonna walk over and sit right in front of him. Good morning.
Oh! Oh, friends! It's so nice to see you.
His voice has changed. Is he gay now?
No, he's just...
Hello.
It's so lovely to see you.
He's
He says-
very
As well.
effeminate and happy
He
all the
says,
time.
How did you sleep last night, Aldern?
Oh, I slept rather well. I mean, it was a very harrowing day. We spent a lot of energy. As soon as I hit the pillow, I was out like a light.
And how's your dog?
Oh, Reggie is fine. He's upstairs napping on my bed right now. I gave him a nice big bone.
Well, that's just wonderful. That's crazy
Good to
happenings in town. Yes.
Yes, of course. I've never seen goblins act like they're acting today. Or, well, last night, sorry. Misspoke.
Oh crap! Drop my dice. I gotta stop playing with my dice on the desk and throwing them on the floor.
Rolled
Right.
4 natural ones in a row playing with my die.
So he's Cordova's like, do you have any insight into any of this, Aldern?
Into what?
Into why the goblins would come here, or
Oh, goblins, they probably just wanted a larger score, I would assume.
My question is, have you ever seen any of the groups working together before as the goblins?
Oh, heavens,
Argus is gonna perk up.
Me actually see goblins? Oh God, no. We keep them off of our land. I don't care so much to track their comings and goings.
So,
Well, I'm
So,
sure you've
so-
heard someone have seen it.
so listen real quick, guys. Listen real quick. I understand y'all are new to the goblins. Goblins do not work together at all. Period. If goblin groups are working together, it's because another group is either taking control or they're scared of something. So that's why we must go and talk to the goblin that's being held. If one
Yes.
group is more powerful than the other, then they're controlling the goblins. Or something is controlling it. Y'all said that there was longshanks. Goblins don't work with longshanks. So the 2 longshanks that they were talking about must be controlling the groups to force them to work together and have some type of hold of power over them.
you're absolutely right, Argus. I believe that it has something to do with this necromancer, as no doubt you've discerned as well. I believe, though, that we should invite Aldern. Aldern, tell me, do you have any sense of adventure about you?
Oh, I do. In fact, I wanted to invite you boys on a boar hunt with me. I want to bring you along on our very own adventure. How does that sound? And
How is a boar hunt an adventure? You're going into the
we're-
woods and mercilessly killing an animal for pleasure and sport.
Doesn't it sound wonderful?
No, it doesn't sound wonderful.
Everything's awkward at the table now.
Here's an idea.
Well, I would like some good
if
meat,
It helps,
No,
we will
hey,
bring back the
here,
meat
here's
and
an
we
idea.
will give it to Amiko to feed to her
Wait.
patrons for free.
Here's my sword. I draw my sword and I place it on the table. You go run, and I'll go hunt you. Go now.
Roll an intimidation. I
I don't think intimidation is gonna work.
mean, give it a shot.
Is it just my strength check? Because I don't have it as a class skill.
I think it'd just be a straight. I guess. Yeah,
A 15.
15.
Yeah, natural 15.
Yeah, he looks at you, and he's like, he looks like he might be a little bit scared, but he just kind of scoots in closer to. Let's see, where's Musashi? He scoots down here
I'm
close to
towards the
Musashi's
other.
side of the table.
I'll do it too. I'm gonna roll an intimidate check.
All right.
Everybody's
I'm
just trying to
sorry.
intimidate poor Aldern.
Well, I mean, he wants to go viciously kill a boar for no reason.
He wanted to go hunt a boar and bring food back. Okay. I mean, roll
Buddy.
your intimidation checks.
I didn't
Bennett
that point.
natural. Bennett got a 20. All right. Yeah, you guys.
I show one big canine of like as a catfolk and look at him and like cut my eyes, kind of like so the other guys don't see it. But Cordova, sees that I have his back, trying to intimidate this guy.
Okay, Cordova's gonna interject here, seeing as Aldern is stepping away from the table, and he's just like, Aldern, wait.
Yeah. Yes.
Did you have a particular place in mind that you wanted to do this hunt?
Well, no, I was just in the Tickwood. It's a fine place to hunt boars. They have lots of meat.
Okay, I'll make a deal with you.
Yes.
We hunt the boar. I pick the boar. If it's old and dying, we can kill it.
That sounds
No
fair.
young boars. But we must use every bit of the boar.
Cordova looks at Argus. He's like, surely you understand that hunting is how we get by here. I mean, you fed Stompy chickens.
Stompy eats the whole chicken.
Does Stompy eat the whole boar?
Stompy will eat the whole boar.
And we will eat the whole boar as well.
What are you going to do with the bones?
The bones will go to Stompy.
Stompy doesn't eat bones.
I'll take a bone.
We'll make
I'll
bone
take an
soup.
arrow.
As long as we
crackers.
use the whole boar, I will be fine with this hunting expedition.
Oh, you guys have me here. I'll definitely eat every bit of that.
And we do it fair.
He's perking up, and he's coming back over here. Or actually, he takes the long way around the table and comes and sits here between Cordova and Musashi. He's like,
I was going to say Cordova's
yes,
going to sit by him. Cordova's going to sit by him and put his arm around his neck, and he says, listen, I know, let's not intimidate. He's looking at you guys like, let's not intimidate our new adventuring companion, potential benefactor here. This is a man who knows quite a bit about the town. And I believe that we should invite him along. And he's, Aldern, we're going to interrogate a goblin.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Yes. Wonderful.
And these things speak.
Yeah,
That's speak.
he's
I guess
They're
he
just
knows
like-
they speak. They threatened him.
They're just like people, you racist.
I'm side-eyeing,
You're
I'm side-eyeing
racist.
Argus like, it's okay. we're going to go, and we're going
Hey,
to...
Cthulhu, do you speak?
Of
Or
course.
do I need to speak to you like this? Meow, 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 meow.
Meow 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 meow. It's like a Pokemon.
Argus is super triggered today.
Cthulhu.
Aldrin,
y'all,
would you like to join us?
if y'all remember from what Frank Exposition just told you, Bellor is going to be busy until he gives his speech at noon.
Oh, okay.
Y'all
Do we
can.
Do we have
Y'all
to
don't-
have Bellor to talk to the goblin?
I guess not. But Bellor did want to talk to y'all at the garrison.
Okay.
Should
So, I
we
mean,
wait
I
for
guess, yeah, we probably should kill two birds with one stone.
Billor? I don't think it's a good idea to overstep the bounds of the sheriff here.
I agree.
Probably not.
However, there is something more we can do. There is a tailor in town, and we do have a particular article I believe Musashi has in his possession.
I do.
I
The more
agree.
information we can get about that, the better off we'll be.
Let's check the tailor with said new friend.
Yeah, maybe he can buy us new stuff.
Yes, I would like some more studded leather.
Well,
Listen,
I mean, I can buy y'all a gift if you would like. I do have an agreement worked out with the Goblin Squash Stables. You can visit him.
Gonna buy us mounts.
mounts. He says, okay, so Cordova, he's like, give me a moment. He wants to get with Amiko, like, alone, just the two of them.
Ooh.
Ew.
He's got a
Giggity.
question. So can he...
Yeah,
Do that.
absolutely.
All right, so he's gonna approach her. I guess she's at the bar or something like that, and he's just like, "Can I speak with you?"
Yes. What do you need?
She says, "I noticed that you have a lot of jewelry. It looks handcrafted."
Yes, some of it is, yes.
It's like I'd like, and he reaches into his pocket and pulls out those holy symbols that he got from that church.
Mhm.
It's like I was hoping that you could help me out with this, when you have a moment. And it's like I'd like to assemble these into one sort of a necklace. Is that something you think you could do?
She looks at them, and they're three pretty much like runestone kind of things is what I'm imagining. And she's looking at them. Yes, I believe I can do something with these. I've seen something like this done before. Would you want to help, or is this something you would like to commission?
Yes, I would like to help. I would like to learn. I've never dealt with making jewelry before, and what you have is so elegant. I'd like to learn.
Absolutely. We'll we can do this. We can start this evening if that's something you would like.
That would be perfect.
I believe the job I have in mind may take 3 days.
3 days. Holy crap. Okay.
Yes.
He didn't say that. He's like, go.
Yes,
no,
I'm sorry. I will have to work on it in between my time here at the tavern.
Yes, I understand. So he's basically he just wants to make a plan to be able to meet with her at night and speak with her about this jewelry making thing.
Okay.
So whenever she's doing it, he wants to be involved. But that's kind of what he wanted to arrange.
Okay. All right.
He'll rejoin the group after that.
Argus wants to go and talk to Amiko too.
Are you going to ask her about her brother?
I am.
Okay, don't.
Okay.
I'm working that angle.
There you go. Now I don't have to bother with it.
It works. So yeah, where would y'all like to go?
To the tailor.
To the tailor.
To the tailor.
Is there anything?
Verna's fine clothing.
Is there anything like along the way that stands out, for Sandpoint, like tourist trap or?
Oh yeah, absolutely. As soon as y'all come out of Amiko's tavern, even though it's way down here, you can see up in the northeast side of town the old light. It's a massive, crumbling. Looks like it was once maybe what's the word I'm looking for? Damn it, lighthouse. Looks like maybe an old lighthouse or just an old black stone tower of some sort.
Where is that?
That's up here.
Okay.
Do y'all mind if we swing by the church to talk and see if we can find out more about Father Xanthos while we're on our way to our tailor? Is it close by or?
Yeah, church is right here. Taylor is, I think the tailor's right here, and you guys are here, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
the tailor's right beside you. No.
Do you want to speak to Father Xanthus about Priest Ezekiel? The Priest Ezekiel?
Whichever one is alive, I want to speak to the one about the dead. Find out more history on him.
They
They both have like the same name.
Yeah,
we can bring information to Xanthus about whatever we find at the tailor. Maybe he has some more background information.
So you said it was still early on in the morning, so I'm guessing we're just going to take a little trip around town while we wait for things to sort of open up.
Yeah. You see the hagfish is open. There's already people going inside and drinking in there. There's
early here at Sandpoint.
Yeah.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Well, I mean, the hagfish is right here on the docks. So sailors are coming in off the docks and going in for a drink.
I'm not going to the hagfish. I got free drinks at the Iron Dragon.
Mm-hmm. Rusty Dragon,
that's it.
So, Alder,
Ernest, go ahead.
What do you know about this this pile of rubble here that appears to have been a lighthouse in the past?
Oh yes, this is oh wait, no, that's not his voice. What was his voice? I already lost his
feminine.
voice. Yes, this is this is the old light. It is it's an ancient lighthouse here from old Varissia. We kind of, or I say we, but the Sandpoint folks kind of built their town around it. It's a local landmark.
It's beautiful.
Oh yes, it's quite beautiful and kind of eerie the way it just stands here, and we don't know where it came from. Nobody has memory of it actually being a lighthouse. There's not even any texts about it. It's just the old light.
Is there a way to get inside?
I mean, the rubble looks somewhat open. I mean, maybe there might be an opening inside of the rubble somewhere, but I mean, it looks kind of open how it is.
Okay, this is a question towards the group. Do we know if Amiko's family would know anything, since her family was one of the founding families of Sandpoint, or if she has any older relatives or any writing about this monument?
I assume her dad. would
Yeah,
know something, but we haven't met him yet.
Yeah, he knows about as much as Foxglove just told you. Like, I mean,
Okay.
it is an ancient monument, and nobody living can remember it ever being an actual lighthouse. Nobody, you know, nobody living can even remember, you know, their ancestors telling them about it being an actual lighthouse. It's
We do
just
have necromancers roaming about, so maybe we can find some answers.
Perhaps.
Yeah, possible.
Looks
Yeah.
like a place a necromancer might hide.
and
guys.
over there's an island over here with, you know, it looks somewhat set off. There's a you know, ruins of an old house built out there. It doesn't look, from what you can see, it doesn't look very inhabited. You know, the island's grown over a little bit, and you know, there's a oh god, I hope, actually I'm not going to say that because that is right. The rock facing somewhat looks like a face right here on the edge of this island. Yeah. So that's intriguing. It's a nice, pretty landmark.
I'm like to Argus and be like, are goblins known to have boats?
Yeah, they can use boats. They're usually like makeshift logs or piece of wood that they just swim on.
Are there more seafaring ships?
No, they're like big seafaring ships.
Tribe of goblin. Would that be under the bird creatures of seven tooth?
I have no idea what you just said.
Like,
yeah, there's
the
none of the
bird
goblins that we're dealing with are seafaring.
Okay.
They all
Yeah.
live in the surrounding like woods and swamps.
Yeah. I mean, there is like this is Junker's Beach right here.
Yeah.
So I mean, there are the seven-tooth goblins come in and raid along this beach, because this is like, I think it's Orvis's shack or something like that. What's his name? Gorby's shack. He's the local garbage man, and he pays his folks to just go dump all the garbage off the edge of the cliff.
nice.
And then the goblins go down there and raid it for stuff they can use. So
Yeah.
Gotcha.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't believe we should be venturing into the old light or any further into the island. Let's continue to pull at the threads that we do have here and make our way to the tailor as soon as they're open.
I would agree on that one.
If you
Might as well
head
get
that way,
information where we can.
yeah. If you head that way now, she's probably open.
Do you want to swing by the chapel first, Casey?
Or do y'all want to split? And we can just share information?
Yeah.
Or do you want to do it as a party just to come up with more ideas?
I wouldn't mind seeing Father Tobin again. I can introduce you to him.
Okay.
Or Father
Okay.
Santis.
Oh yeah, you said
Mechanically, either way, I can only say one thing at a time.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
So like, it doesn't matter if y'all go together or separate.
You take
Yeah,
Jeremy
no,
in the
I-
other room, and we'll take him in this room, and we'll figure it out.
We'll just split him in half.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll just go together.
Okay, so if we swing by the chapel first, you know, I'll be like, hey, I know Father Santis. Let me introduce you. And
Well, aren't we going to the chapel towards the end of the day anyway?
we are,
Yeah,
but they're
y'all
going
will
to
be going to the chapel. Yeah,
Okay.
hopefully for the opening speeches. But if not, then
Yeah, we can catch them
Yeah,
after the
y'all always
speech if
have
we want to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's fine. That's what I was like. That's because I was thinking, find out some interesting points in Sandpoint. Like that could be like stowaways, hideaways, places for people like that.
Okay.
And then go to the fashion person, and then go to the meeting. From the meeting, talk to the father, and then from the father, talk to the sheriff.
Sounds good to me. So I'm assuming we're following Aldern to the Vernus Fine Clothing.
all right.
And I'm
Y'all
teasing
head down to
Aldrin the whole
Vernus Fine
way
Clothing.
about
Vernus
what
is
type of
back
clothes
down
I'm buying. Because I can't have any man-made goods, so I'm just telling him I'm buying like all these fancy, expensive stuff.
Vegans.
And he's like, okay, that's if that's what you like, buy whatever clothes you want.
It's truly fascinating. We don't have any vegans where I'm from.
Yeah, and he's, you know, yeah, he's asking y'all all along the way, you know, it's yeah, he's trying to prod y'all for questions of your exploits, you know. It's he puts his hand on Musashi's, you know, smooth armor as y'all are walking down to to the tailor. He said, "This is extravagant armor. Where are you from? Where did you come across such fine craftsmanship?"
It was provided to me by my lord, and I've kept it this pristine.
Ooh, that is quite nice. You must have had a very powerful, rich lord.
Well, he did rule over quite the area, but he doesn't anymore. Let's just say that.
Yes, I couldn't afford this for my finest servants. Yeah, he's looking to your swords. Have you ever had to use those in battle?
Those are the reason that my armor is still clean and pristine. No enemy gets close enough.
Ah, yes. Yes. Tell me about some of these enemies. Oh.
Well, unfortunately, quite a few of them ended up being more peasants than normal enemies, I am ashamed to say. Although at the time, just following orders of my lord. Most of the other ones are different assassins or would-be troublemakers.
Yes, that sounds very terrifying. You must have been quite good at what you do.
I would say yes.
Ooh.
But it comes with the territory, unfortunately. Well, you have heard of my exploits over just the last day or two.
Yes. You've already, made quite a show of force around here.
That's right. To maintain such a humble attitude about it all.
Yeah.
A humble dwarf to the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
right,
I try not to speak out so much, but if I tend to learn more about you or more comfortable with you, maybe I will share some more later. But
of course. We have a nice ride tomorrow out to the Tickwood. Maybe you can share some exploits then.
Well, we'll see how much I wanted to divulge, but maybe a beer or two might help liven up the mood.
He looks over to Argus and Cordova, and y'all look quite mysterious. You the man who comes from nowhere, and you the man with grass in his hair. I mean,
you might want to watch your tongue.
Tell me your stories. Where do you come from, young man? And he's looking to Argus.
Oh, I just come from the surrounding areas, and the grass in my hair is to give me something to chew on, so I can ignore you. As I pull a straw out and I stick it in my mouth. I just wander around selling my goods. I have goods that can make you happy, goods that can make you sad, goods that can make you do things that you normally wouldn't. Would you like to join them or buy some?
That is definitely something I would be interested in, but I'll buy that from you later this evening. Yeah, he looks to his purse and counts. Yes, definitely. Cordova, you the man who falls from the sky.
Yes.
Hey, man.
Did you witness that yourself?
Yes,
okay.
I did see it. I was in the crowd when you fell.
Hey guys, I'm gonna put y'all on mute real quick, okay?
That's fine.
All right,
man.
Thank you.
But yeah, yes, I was in the crowd when you fell.
Let's see. And what did you think of that?
I thought it was quite the spectacle. You must be some wizard if you can just appear in midair.
Oh no, not by any means am I a wizard. No, not me. And he's kind of holding back. He's kind of reluctant.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, same with my guy.
Yeah, so is your guy. But Aldern is not a member of the party as such.
Exactly. That's why I'm not saying much.
Yeah. So it's like Aldern. And once again, he kind of takes him, puts his arm around him, and he speaks kind of just to Aldern. He's like, "There's a lot about me that you don't know, and for the time being, I feel it may be better to keep it that way."
Yes, I understand.
He looks. This isn't because I am indifferent towards you or I have any negative opinion of you, but because if you know too much, it may put you in harm's way. You said you have an adventuring spirit, but this isn't something that you want to dive into just yet.
I do understand, and he looks a little, dejected. But he looks over to Cthulhu, and he's like, I don't suppose you want to tell me about where you're from, do you? And he winces a little bit. He's still kind of scared of you.
And then Cthulhu, I'm gonna roll an intimidate check. Fuck, it's lower than the last time. It's 13. So 13. I try to do the same little snarl, but I probably look like a bit more of a kitten this time.
Yeah. He softens up a bit. He thinks that maybe you're warming up to him. He's, oh well, I mean the strong silent type is okay as well too. Yeah, if you boys like, I do know a joke, and he's right as you're getting to the shop. He's like, I can tell y'all a joke. A dwarf walks into a brothel with a honeycomb and a jackass.
You might want to rethink your joke.
Go on.
Go on. I mean, Cordova looked interested.
You better hope this makes me laugh.
I'm guessing this is the Game of Thrones reference that you were going
to.
to
Yes, it is.
I knew it exactly.
A dwarf walked in, a gnome walked into a brothel carrying a jackass and a honeycomb. Okay.
Wow, you can carry a jackass.
The madame looked at him and said, "What can we do for you?" He told her, "I need a woman to lay with, for mine has left me." She made a mock frown. "Oh, whatever for?" "Well," the gnome replied, "my woman found a genie in a bottle. He granted her 3 wishes. Her first wish was a house fit for a queen, and so he gave her this damn honeycomb. The second wish was to have the nicest ass in all the land, and so he gave her this damn donkey. Madame, and what about the third wish? She asked the genie to make my cock hang down past my knee. She smiled and said, oh, well, that one's not so bad, huh? Not so bad, he shouted. I used to be 6'3".
Okay, that one's a good one.
Yeah, Cordova's laughing.
Survived another day.
So yeah, now that he's lightened the mood up a little bit, y'all move into the tailor.
All right. So as we're walking into the tailor, I'm going to pull Aldern aside and I'm going to look him in the eye and say, Aldern, how do you titillate an ocelot? You oscillate its tit a lot. And then I'm going to turn around and follow you guys into the tailor.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry. What I missed?
Oh God.
Just
That's
joke
a good
time.
joke.
Just joke time.
Okay.
All right.
Bonding with Aldern, bringing him in.
So y'all walk into this shop, and I don't have a map for it, but Jesus, why is it still blinking?
All right.
Y'all walk into this shop, and I don't have a map for it, but it'll be fine.
Sure.
You see around you several racks and shelves with fine folded garments and hanging robes and fine dresses, and you see a woman working, hanging up and folding, cleaning the shop. She's about a middle-aged, half-elven woman. She's played by Michelle Pfeiffer.
Nice.
Is this
Someone's
Verna?
not happy.
This is
as we walk into the store, is the store like separated like men's and women's?
No, it's just all kind of like there. I assume it probably would be like if you ask and say where's the rack of men's clothes, she can probably point to it for you. But it's just
So I don't know if whatever's like the first rack I see, I don't know if it's men's or women. I just want to pick it up and I'm going to hand it to Aldern and be like, "That's what I want."
Oh, you're funny. You got jokes just like Cordova, and he.
I don't think he's joking.
Yeah, the woman looks over at you. May I help you?
I'm gonna look to Masashi because he's got the thing. The rope.
Actually, I was going to look at Aldrin. Aldrin, may you introduce us as you had asked, as you had said prior?
Oh, yes. Raishin, these are my new friends. The short man here with the strapping physique is Musashi. The nice gentleman with hair adornments is Argus. This man here with the makeshift clothing is
It's not
Cordova.
makeshift anymore, but okay.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, you're wearing somebody else's pants and a shirt that you found on a line. It does not look like clothing to a rich man.
Fair enough.
Rich lady.
Well, yeah, or a rich lady.
At least he said makeshift clothing and not hair adornments.
Well, you got upset about the grass in your hair.
Yes.
And my furry friend here never told me his name. I just call him Cat.
What was her name again?
Gentlemen, this is Raishin Pavali.
Right.
She looks to y'all and nods her head. Good afternoon, gentlemen. It's nice to welcome y'all to my establishment. I don't believe I've seen any of you in here before. Can I help you? Can I give you anything?
You can give me what he has.
What who has? What Alden's wearing?
No. What he has in his hand. I took it off the rack, gave it to him. He said he was going to buy it for me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't think even you, Mr. Foxglove, can afford that entire rack. That's quite a bit of gold. And he just he laughs and agrees with her.
But what am I going to dress my dinosaur in?
Do dinosaurs wear clothes?
Now they do.
Look, there was a dinosaur in the town square last night. I believe he ate a goblin. Was that one?
Yes.
Yeah, he ate a couple.
Wow, that was quite impressive. I guess that would make you the heroes. Y'all would be the ones that everyone's talking about, right?
Yes, that would be.
Oh, it is wonderful to meet you. She lightens up and she gets very excited. So I would love to outfit y'all in my clothing and let y'all wear my works through the town to show off. Be my own commercials, if you would.
Well, my dear lady, I am very fond of my armor, but if you wouldn't happen to have a cloak or something for the rain, I would not be. I would not say no.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I have something just what you would like. And she goes to a shelf and she pulls a fine black cloak with blue embroidery, made of just extremely thick woven silk. It's just the softest, almost water repellent.
Can I get your name and date of birth? Casey cloak. Baker, 11/28/83.
Beautiful. Yes. If you
would,
y'all
are going on mute.
That's okay. If you would wear this, to in front of people, it would be wonderful.
Well, I have to say, this looks like very fine craftsmanship and fine materials. I have a question for you, my lady.
Yes?
Well, with clothing this fine, does anything like this look familiar to you? And I hand over the piece of cloth or the fabric that I have gotten.
Just the one torn piece of cloth?
Yes.
Yeah, she holds it in her hand and she rubs her fingers over it and she looks at it and you see her shoulders start to slump and some tears come to her eyes and she's, yes, this is my mother's work. I recognize the stitching. Where did you come across it?
Oh, I'm sorry to bring tears about you, but unfortunately, it's some clues towards some things that we're investigating, and any information that you'd have about the owner of this or who it was for would be greatly appreciative.
But do you have the larger piece, or is this all there is?
Unfortunately, that was all that was remaining of what we had found.
I don't believe I can completely identify it without the full piece.
Do we not have the larger piece?
You do.
We do?
You do.
Oh,
Yeah, so you found that on the trailer, and then the larger piece was in the tomb.
oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I forgot about that larger piece.
Yeah, I thought y'all were just trying to be secretive.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, I was a little bit of that, but I forgot about the larger piece that we'd gotten.
Yeah. I can tell you that this piece of fabric itself is rather expensive, and would only be purchased by someone with gold to spare. It appears to be woven rather thick, like maybe it was a part of a robe or a dressing gown. But that's all I can tell you. And she hands it back. I do recognize it is my mother's work, if that helps. It was absolutely bought at this store.
Was your mother prone to imbuing her work with magic?
No, of course not. She was just prone to making beautiful garments for everyone.
So
did she make this piece? And I'm like fingering like a cape on the wall.
A cape on the wall. What color is the cape?
It's red.
It's red, a red cape. That's exactly what I was going to give. She's actually that is my own piece, and she takes it down off the wall. It's a red cape with gold tassels to tie it off around your neck, and gold buttons to button it down the side.
It's really beautiful.
It is yours if you would like it.
It's very generous of you, and he's throwing it on. I don't know if there's a mirror in these kind of places, but he's throwing it on and checking it out.
Absolutely. And you, I hope that no one else feels slighted, but you look like you could be in need of a full wardrobe, if I'm not mistaken.
If you wouldn't mind helping him, that would be greatly appreciative, because I'd rather not see him naked again.
Yeah, he's laughing. He's like, my lady yesterday, I was wearing a bedroll kilt.
Well, if a kilt is your thing, I can make those as well.
Oh, no, not by any means.
But pick anything off the rack that you like, and it's yours. Any garment.
All right, so he's gonna go shop around while you guys are kind of talking, listening, shopping around.
I was trying to think of what I wanted to ask her. Well, as you said, someone would have to have money to spare for that piece of cloth. My question is, you wouldn't happen to have known anyone that's been around these parts and, up so many years that may or may not have had that kind of wealth?
Family. Yes.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, good. Everybody's getting free clothing, by the way. So if y'all start just picking out what you want, like, outfit yourself with whatever garment you think your character would like.
I'm not allowed to wear it.
Slather your body with mud, then.
Does she have lotions?
She does. She has a little kiosk set up by the cash register.
I just start taking like random stuff, like the flowers that are hanging up, and
just pocketing crap that finds.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get a pretty good cloak.
All right, yeah. She finds for you a nice, a deep black coat with no embroidery. It's just deep black. A flat black that doesn't even shine in the bright light, in the building. And it's filled with dozens of pockets that just go, as deep as you can reach.
Yeah. Cordova's like, it looks good on you.
Thanks.
And she looks to Argus, and she says, I hope you don't think this forward of me. I have a cloak that came from he was an old pet in the city that his owner had him made into a cloak, and then his owner passed, and it came back into our property. And she pulls out this thick cloak of snowcat pelt. It's pure white with just a couple of faint little black streaks. She says, I don't know if you can wear this. And she offers it to you.
Argus says thank you because druids don't turn anything down, and he stuffs it in his backpack.
All right.
And he gets more of the natural oils.
All right.
I'm gonna kind of quietly walk over towards Cordova over in the corner since he's off shopping around. Kind of whisper over to him.
Look at how fascinating this is. Have you ever seen such a pattern? He's really amazed by what he's looking at.
I've seen much nicer in my time, but our scales are a little bit different on what I've seen versus what you've seen. Question for you, friend. So she was able to give us only some information about the cloth. Should we be wary enough to show her the rest of it? Should we hold that on for another time?
I don't know, Jeremy, did we already show the rest? Is that what we were talking about earlier?
You didn't. But I do have information to give you if you show the rest.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta be honest with you, Musashi. I'm not the best at reading people. I'm very confused by a lot of the things I see here. But I believe if we can't trust a tailor, who can we trust?
You do have a point. I'm also very bad with
Argus walks
reading
over there.
normal people.
Argus walks over there. What are you guys talking about?
Actually, good thing you wandered by. I'm wondering how much we should trust her and show her the rest of the fabric.
Are you holding the fabric in your hand?
No, it's in my pocket or whatever.
Bag?
Yeah, bag.
You want to pull it out?
Yeah, I'll pull it out just slightly, kind of keep it hidden. So it's this piece that we had found during our excursion in the tomb.
Oh, that piece. Argus takes it from your hand and he's looking at it. And he turns to the lady. He's like, what can you tell us about this?
That's what I thought.
Mother.
I also had to get a baby. All right. So
It's very unhappy,
it's
baby.
very quiet now. What just happened?
We gave her the big piece.
You gave what?
Argus specifically gave her the big piece.
Yeah. I turned around and I showed her the extra piece of cloth, and I was like, what can you tell us about this cloth? You have such fancy clothing.
Yeah. Her jaw kind of drops. And hold on, I'm sorry, guys. Hold on.
No, you're fine. Sure. Kids are kids.
I know. Sorry, she didn't want me at all. She wanted mommy, but mommy was drying off. Okay. Yeah, she sees that, that piece of cloth, and I mean her skin, flushes, and her jaw drops, and she reaches out slowly, and she said, This is a very specific piece that my mother made for a friend of hers.
Do you remember what friend?
Yes. This belonged to Atsui Kaijitsu.
Atsui Kaijitsu.
Yes.
Kaijitsu. We knew who Kaijitsu is. Do we know who Atsui Kaijitsu is?
It must be Amako's father.
No.
It must be Amako's mother?
Yes, this is Amiko's mother.
Okay, Atsui's a female. Got it.
Yes. My mother made this after the birth of Atsui's first child, Suto.
So is this the piece where we found like the bones that were used to summon the skeletons?
Yeah. She looks and she sees the torn stitching from the patches, and she says, This seems to have been modified slightly, but it is definitely my mother's finest craftsmanship.
Interesting.
Well, your mother has good craftsmanship.
Yes, it was very finely made.
Oh, thank you very much. I miss her every day. We the shop just hasn't picked up business since she's been gone.
Well, when I have this snow cat cloak on my dinosaur, people will be shopping here.
That sounds fair. I hope it keeps him rather warm.
Yeah, me too.
Interesting. Man, this whole Kaijitsu family seems a little screwy to me. I've got nothing else for her.
Yeah, I think we got all the information we were going to get from her.
Okay.
There's just one more thing, ma'am.
Yes.
Don't leave town.
I won't. I won't.
So good.
But
All
you guys
right,
want to
Should
go
we
to
take,
the...
Should we take her passport?
Take her passport.
So yeah,
Take her passport.
it's been a few hours. Y'all been wandering around the city, and you stopped and shopped, and yeah. If you want to, you can head up to the cathedral, or you can find something else to do around town. But if you find something else to do, you will miss the opening ceremony.
Okay. Can we head towards the cathedral and maybe stop and grab something to eat on the way, like a street hot dog vendor?
Absolutely.
How many hot dogs is your raptor going to eat?
Oh,
I don't know.
I can't imagine Argus eats hot dogs.
No.
Yeah, you find a vendor, and he's like, I've got hot dogs. I make them from rabbit anus.
Cordova's like, are you really? I'll take 2.
Argus looks at everybody and is like, did you get yours?
Sashi just looks at them, just goes, the food in this area is strange.
So does everybody have their own hot dogs?
Yeah.
I skip.
Argus opens up the bin and just lets Stompy go eat. He just sticks his head in.
Into the vendors.
Yes.
Hey, you gotta pay for those. I can't just be losing my whole profit all at once like that.
When he is done eating, we will pay.
He's just feeding his dinosaur everything.
I mean that's my whole day's worth of stuff right there. That's at least.
Would you rather him
3 or 4 gold?
Would you rather him eat your hot dogs, or would you rather him eat your hand?
Oh, you're not a very nice man, are you?
No, I'm a super nice man. It's just really hard to tame a dinosaur.
So he looks at you out of the side of his eyes. 3 gold.
3 gold.
2 gold. 2 gold.
Look, man. I mean, he ate all my hot dogs. He didn't
eat those 2. He didn't eat
2
those
gold.
2 that guy's eating.
Argus, I honestly have to tell you, this is the greatest rabbit anus hot dog I've ever eaten. Just like my father used to make.
Thank you. At least somebody appreciates my work.
So much, sir. So much.
2 gold and 5 silver. That's the best I can do.
How about Stompy lifts his head up and kind of growls and goes back to eating. He's still hungry.
Yeah, he puts his hands up and backs off. You can choose not to pay him now if you'd like.
No, I'm going to give him 2 gold.
All right.
Cordova's going to toss in 3 of his own gold.
All right.
He's just very happy with his rabbit anus.
And I just shake my head and keep walking.
All right.
Just walk right by.
So he takes your 3 gold. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. The gods are gonna bless you. Thank you.
He's like, no, thank you. Oh, my dice in the dark. I can't see what I'm gonna play.
All right. So y'all make your way up to the cathedral. Yeah, and then people are milling around, filing their way into the cathedral and filling up the various pews at different altars. And there's a makeshift stage set up in the center of the cathedral this time, just beside the standing stones. They didn't want to do it outside anymore. It seems too dangerous. After a few minutes, everybody kind of quiets down, and middle-aged woman, human woman, played by Alina Headley, takes the stage. Good morning, everyone. This personable woman welcomes the whole crowd with her usual friendly attitude. Her, happiness mixed with her somber tone is contagious and permeates the whole crowd as everybody just kind of, quiets down and listens to what she has to say. I see mostly everyone has arrived. Even Lars Ravakni has managed to break away from his work to be here. I'm sure his workers are glad, and are glad it's not their hides getting tanned today. And there's scattered chuckles through the crowd, and Mr. Rakovny stands up. He says, "That'll happen later." And there's even more laughs. And those of you who are familiar,
this town's evil. We're laughing at people getting beat to work.
No, those of you that are familiar with this town know that Lars is a workaholic, and he tends to, he works long hours. He encourages his, workers to work long hours, and is very reluctant to joke in the first place. So this was a step outside of his own box for him. He's doing good. Anyways, the mayor continues.
Yeah. He's doing good because he's not beating his workers.
Right. The mayor continues. It's wonderful to see so many of you join us on this day, and as I know, many are busy repairing the city and tending to loved ones. And I would like to ask any of you that can to help those who have lost something or someone, if it is within your ability. In times like this, we need to show how strong we can be when we stand together. I'd like to extend my welcome to all the new faces in the crowd and all the familiar ones that managed to be here today. I love you all. I hope that you will not judge our little town based on last night's events. Our town has so much to offer, and I hope that we can consider you new friends. So please, spend some time in Sandpoint, and I know you'll grow to love it as we do. And even if you don't spend your time, be nice if you spend your money. And more laughs throughout the crowd. So please feel free to visit some of our fine shops and many taverns. And to all the familiar faces I see today, thank you for coming, and thank you for everything that you've done to keep this town strong. I know there are many busy repairing the city. And in times like this, I somehow copied that. Yeah. Thank you all. And without further ado, let me introduce the next speaker, Sheriff Belor Hemlock. And she indicates to the dark-skinned, bulky man of Showanti descent. Steps up to the mic in full armor with a sword dangling from his belt. Thank you, Mayor. When I wrote this speech, I meant only to honor the souls that were lost 5 years ago in the fire that claimed our previous chapel on that fateful night. But now we also need to mourn the lives of 7 men and women who perished in yesterday's attacks. I would like all of you to join me in a moment of silence to remember the lives that were lost. And he lowers his head for a minute, and everybody else is just, quiet through the crowd. And remembering, let us also vow to not allow those events to repeat themselves. I am of the understanding that there was a bonfire planned for tonight. However, that event has been cancelled in light of last night's destruction. Enjoy yourselves. Let me introduce the next speaker from our local theater, Mr. Cedric Drakis. And, he makes a mock clap and tries to smile. He's not good at faking his emotions.
He's not good at speeches either.
Yeah, he's not good at speeches. He wants to be straight up. Hey, you're here. Be safe. We're not doing a bonfire. Screw you.
Good night.
Yeah.
Jeez, cold.
Cedric Drakis is an older man who runs the local theater. He's brightly dressed. And in a bright, fuchsia robe, and he's managed to dye his underclothes a bright green and blue to celebrate the festival. Well, thank you, Sheriff. No, sorry. Well, thank you, Sheriff, for the absolutely uplifting speech. Now, I know this town has seen some rough times, but just look at what we've accomplished in these last few months. I'm telling you, they spared no expense with this place. And he gestures to the grand cathedral that you're standing in. I heard they even made Father Xanthus' chamber pot out of solid gold. But I'll let him tell you about that. First, I'd like to take the opportunity to invite all of you to attend tomorrow evening's premiere of The Harpy's Curse at the Sandpoint Theater. The Harpy's Curse stars the beautiful and captivating Alishonda as the Harpy Queen. But for now, you'll have to make do with the much less beautiful, but equally important figure, Father Xanthus. Please join me in a bit of applause to welcome His Holiness. Yeah, everybody claps. Speeches are hard to write. Shut up.
Very good.
Ooh.
I know him. Him.
The crowd cheers as Xantic motions, as Krydak motions Xanthus to the center stage. The
Argus
old
hears
priest,
Cordova saying that he knows him and he leans in. We need to talk to him.
We'll get to him after this.
Let's just do it now.
We can't just talk to him in front of everybody.
Everybody knows what's going on.
Argus, I'm from the future and I know better than that.
Yeah, he smiles out to the crowd. Thank you, Cydrek. And he, is off put by Cydrek's joke at his expense. Thank all of you for coming today on this most holy day. Today is a day of new beginnings. We should try not to mourn all those that have been lost, but celebrate our resiliency. This cathedral stands not only as a monument to the gods, but also as a monument to our people's ability to rebuild. Today, we should take time to appreciate those who lost their lives and those who worked so hard to give us this wonderful place of worship. We should remember Desna's blessings as well as Abadar and those of you who worship those other gods, and there's some chuckles. Let's see. We would like to welcome everybody, both new to the town and old inhabitants, to come down to the cathedral at any time. We have a large staff of acolytes willing to pray with you, and several clerics willing to help you with anything that you may need. Don't be afraid to come seek me out in person. I hope to get to know each and every one of you much better as we move forward in our relationship. And he bows his head and leads everybody in a prayer. I don't pray, so I don't know how to pray. We're going to not do that part.
So as Argus says, we invite everybody, as he hears them say, we invite everybody to come down to the chapel or whatever, he stands up and he starts walking to it.
You start walking up to the stage as he's in the middle of prayer, and he looks over at you, finishes up, amen, and sits back down as I assume you're gonna walk straight up on the stage, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cordova reaches to grab you, but no, it fails.
Yeah.
Ah.
All right, so you get up on the stage and you're there with Father Xanthus, as Mayor Devrin and Sheriff Bellor are still there. They're moving off the other side of the stage, out to talk to people in the crowd. Father Xanthus obviously feels like you're about to corner him though, so he's just stopped.
Excuse me, Father.
Yes, my son.
Me and my group of friends over there. You see them right there?
Yes.
We have questions to ask about Father Xanthos.
I am Father Xanthus, yes.
No, the other father?
Ezekiel? Tobin?
Ezekiel and Tobin? Yeah, that guy.
Yes, my predecessor.
Yes, your
what would you like
predecessor.
to know?
Can we speak somewhere that's not so publicly?
Sure.
Publicly? Sorry, my medicine's going to probably start kicking in.
He's like, sure, that's absolutely fine. And he motions to an acolyte. Would you escort these men back to my office? I'll be with you momentarily. Let me say my goodbyes to the mayor and to the sheriff, and I'll be right there. So he goes up to them to talk, and Yeah, this will allow y'all a chance to discuss anything you need to before he gets into his office.
What do you?
I told you, Cadova. We could have just walked up there and asked him.
What are you trying to do?
What am I trying to do?
Embarrassing. No, he says like, what are you? What are your intentions? What are we trying to find out from him?
I want to find out more history on the past chapel. I want to find out more about Father Ezekiel. There was something mentioned of a ring.
A ring.
Yeah, I don't have my notes, so I can't remember. But a signet
I didn't
ring.
write down anything about a ring.
A signet ring. And then I want to see if we can find out more about Nalia. Like, how old was she? What was her age? Well, old and age is the same thing. What was she like? What deities did she worship? Did she have any close friends in town?
You might want to ask him about the Kajitsu family as well.
Yes, and the Kajitsu family.
By the way, I know no one's used it yet. And I mean, it seems like a lot of the things I had prepared for you are about to come out in this little bit of roleplay. But y'all can use diplomacy around the town.
I had actually considered it a few times, but there was nothing I felt worth rolling for.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the good thing about diplomacy, and like I said, I'm about to give y'all everything I have prepared for this session. But like, I make little notes off to the side that if y'all do diplomacy checks around town, these are the rumors that you'll hear.
Oh, okay.
And they may or may not be things that you know already.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah. That's cool. We need to keep that in mind then.
Yeah.
Or like when we go back to the bar, question people at the bar.
Yeah.
Because the more drinks in them, the more they're likely to give us stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Says before he comes back, I'm gonna look at Aldern. Aldern's still with us, right?
Yeah. If you want him to be, he's tagging along.
Okay, my understanding is that this place burned down 5 years
no?
ago, and they just now rebuilt it. Is that what's happening?
Oh yeah, it's well, when the cathedral burned, I believe it was a wooden cathedral. It was a large wooden structure with some stone supports. I believe it was largely. Excuse me. I believe it was largely disconnected. You know, there are 6 different temples. I believe they were slightly more separate at the time. But this is a monument of stone and craftsmanship.
So is this being paid by tax money, or is some of the royalty in Sandpoint flipping the bill for it? Like, who's paying for this?
It's a little bit of both, I believe. There have been donations. I donated some myself, and taxes that levied on the town as well. Yes.
Interesting.
You'd be surprised what people are willing to donate to the church when it's gone. You see, I mean, we are a town of, or Sandpoint is a town of some 1,200 people. You know,
Believers.
Yes, believers. They worship 6 different gods in this temple.
What's the demographic of Sandpoint? Do I need to roll like a local geography or something?
Sure.
That is a 15 plus 7.
22.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, 22.
All right. Sandpoint specifically, right? And Aldern won't be able to give you these exact answers, but Aldern, Sandpoint specifically is a small town with a population of 1,240 people. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There are 1,116 humans, 37 halflings, 25 elves, 24 dwarves, 13 gnomes, 13 half-elves, 12 orcs. So largely humans, but with a handful of halflings and elves and dwarves, and even fewer half-elves and half-orcs.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like, what's the main deity for Sandpoint?
Well,
Abadar, right?
Okay.
Well, no, Abadar is the one that I refer to the most because it's the one that sticks in my head, and that's just me. But here, there's Abadar, Desna. I gotta find where I have it written.
Osiris, Sarenrae. You mentioned those.
Yeah. Important information for sample. Okay. All right. The temple is dedicated to the worship of Abadar, Desna, Erastil, Gozra, Sarenrae, and Shaylin.
Okay.
Yeah.
These are good gods, Argus.
Yes.
No, I'm not questioning the gods.
I don't know why I know that, but I do.
I gave this once before, but as y'all walk through,
I would never question the gods. My gods work hand to hand with Desna and Sarenrae.
So I'd be fascinated in learning more about your gods sometime. So, do we want him to come on in then?
Yeah. As you know, he's making his way back to his office. He comes in and shuts the door behind him. And all right, gentlemen. How can I help you? And he sits down at his desk. What can the church do for you?
Argus just looks at him. I have some questions that I would like answered with previous events and things that we discovered. If you could help with that, that would be great.
Yes, sir. I will answer any questions to the best of my ability.
So, we understand that this new temple was built to replace an old temple that was lost in a great fire that was 5 years ago.
Yes.
We were
Yes.
told that no one knows the start of the fire, but they have an idea of where it started at. And when that fire started, Father Xanthith, Ezekiel, his daughter Noaila, and some acolytes died.
Yes, that is the case.
How was the father represented among the people?
He was much loved. He was always good with the children.
Of course
willing,
he was.
Not like that. He was always willing to feed the children, and he was a wonderful man. He brought in young Nawalia. He adopted her into his care. She lived here at the cathedral.
She was his adopted daughter.
Yes.
Were you with them at the time? Like, not with them at the time of the fire, but did you spend time with them studying before you took over?
I did.
Were you an acolyte of his?
I was. Myself and a handful of others were closest with Tobin. I won the election after his passing.
Can you refresh my memory on the ring? I'm sorry. I know something was mentioned about a ring.
Oh, Father Tobin's signet ring.
Yes.
And he reaches into the top drawer of his desk and pulls out a leather pouch and opens it up, and inside's a little box that he opens and pulls out a gold signet ring with the symbol of Abadar on it. It's Father Tobin's religious ring.
Is there any need to roll a perception on it, or is it just pretty much a standard gold signet ring to show that you're the father of the church?
Can I roll knowledge religion on it?
I mean, you can, but it is exactly what it said it was.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a signet ring.
I believe it's a signet ring.
This is
how come he wasn't buried with his signet ring?
Because we didn't want to encourage grave robbing originally, and this was presented to Father Tobin when he took over the high priesthood from his predecessor, and it was mentioned offhand by Father Tobin that he would like to give it to the person who took over for him and start a tradition. And so we just we hope that would be his final wishes. And maybe
so do all of you worship Abadar? You said it was a symbol of Abadar, right?
No, it was just Father Tobin who was the worshipper of Abadar. I worship Desna. My highest accolade actually worships Golzra. It's just whoever has the most talent in the up and coming class.
So Father Tobin was not a malicious man or a mean man, or everybody loved him? He was a pretty nice,
Yes.
easygoing person.
Generous, gregarious.
Okay. Why would somebody want to rob his grave?
We worry about grave robbers in general. We worry. You
I
know,
mean, he
if
didn't have
somebody's
many
known to be buried.
possessions, correct?
Right. But if someone's known to be buried with gold or with jewels, we do have a problem from time to time with thieves. We are just a large enough town that some people can get away with these kind of things.
Okay.
Father, what do you
go
know
ahead.
about the Kaijitsu family? We understand that they founded the town here. What was their relationship like with the church here, with the temple?
Well, they originally, as founders of the town, they had a large hand in creating the church, but oh shit, I already forgot his name again.
Good, I'm not
Longiku.
Mr.
Yeah, Longiku, yes, Mr. Kaijitsu, Longiku Kaijitsu, kind of fell out from the church at a young age. He never really went, and that belief passed on to his children and his wife. And they've just been kind of estranged for the last few decades.
So did they have anything to do with building of your new church?
There were some donations, mostly from Amiko. Longiku, he gave some money, but I think it was political. Had to keep face. Most of the goodwill from the Kaijitsu family comes from Amiko these days.
What about the brother, Tetsu?
Suto.
Suto. Oh man, damn! I just make names up.
And he kind of says that name with a like a little bit of vileness, like Suto. Ugh. Suto had some issues. He was sent by Longiku at a young age to live at the Toranda Rock Academy. You see, Longiku couldn't stand the shame, and so.
What's shame?
Oh, you don't know?
No, can you tell me?
I can roll diplomacy.
Suto. This may not be my place, as it is Amiko's family, but Suto's a half elf. As in,
And
he's not
Amiko's human.
Yes. He is not Longiku's biological son.
Was their mother human?
Yes, she was as well. There was obviously some infidelity. They were married at the time, you see, and there was some infidelity. We never knew who the father was, but the whole pregnancy, Longiku thought that it would be his baby coming, and he was very proud and bragging about the town. And then we heard nothing from him for months, even a couple of years, until we saw his wife going about town with a pointy-eared son.
And do you know what he went to the academy to study?
He studied magics, I do believe.
Do you know what kind of magics?
No, I do not know specifically. He dabbled, I believe.
Can we roll a diplomacy to see if you actually know and you're just not telling us, or?
I mean, diplomacy is like the Toranda Academy is not gonna train somebody specifically in necromantic magic. Like I said, it might be like you take a course in home ec in high school, but that's not like what you major in.
Gotcha.
Like,
So it's not specifically towards any type of. Okay. Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay.
So he studied mostly magics, is what I know.
Father, you worked with Ezekiel.
Yes.
Yes. Did he ever spend any time with Atsui Kaijitsu?
Atsui, he prayed with her from time to time. Yes.
Prayed here?
Well, yes. Well, not in the office, no, but in the cathedral.
Cathedral.
Yes. She would make her way to church. She kind of did it behind her husband's back, if you would. She tried to bring Suto, but Suto didn't take to it. And of course, Amiko was always strong-willed. She took after her father at her early ages.
Okay. And then one last question from me. What do you know about Nalia that was with Father Ezekiel?
Well, I
Wally
know.
was adopted, yes?
Yes, Nualia was adopted. She, let's see. Yeah, she was an Asimar orphan who Father Tobin took into his own care. I mean, there are very few orphans who reside here in Sandpoint, and most of those live at the school. Headmaster Ilsori Gandaths was her headmaster at the time. She lived there for a number of years, regularly walking from the academy up to the chapel to listen to sermons and pray with the gods. She was a devout student of Desna, like myself. However, she was constantly tormented by the townsfolks. The adults in town, you see, saw her unearthly Azamar beauty as some form of blessing from Desna, and many believed that she could cure warts and rashes, and that locks of her hair could be brewed into tea to increase her fertility, and that her lovely voice could drive out evil spirits. Their requests became ever more humiliating over the years. And as a result of this popularity amongst the elders, the children in town were intimidated by her. And they would either hide from her or be too scared to play. Or they would play cruel jokes on her and call her names.
Does she have any friends that she liked to hang around with? Or people that were, I guess, less cruel to her?
There was a rumor. She became with child. Shortly before the fire. Roughly a year or so before the fire, she met a man named Delic Viscanta. And the rumors of their relationship seem to have played out as she came with child. Delic fled town shortly after the news broke, and so that just led credence to the rumors. And she gave birth to her child shortly before the fire.
Her child. What race was her child?
She gave birth to a child.
If a child is what you can call it, actually. The child was born still and monstrously deformed. Arms were there ought not to be arms. Head misshapen and enlarged. Grotesque green skin, bat-like wings, hooves and claws.
What deity did she worship?
She was a worshipper of Desna.
Of Desna.
Yes.
Delic.
Yes. Delic was her lover, we believe. Yes.
What do you know of Delic?
What was?
Delic was a local rascal, a rogue, if you will. He stole a bit and lied and made his money in nefarious ways. But he was never particularly cruel until he left Nualia with child.
Is he still around? Has he came back to town ever?
No, sir. We've never seen him again.
Interesting.
And is there anybody still in town that knows more about Nualia and her baby?
I would probably know the most. I was there when the baby was delivered. A few more of the acolytes and clerics were around as well, but for the final months of her pregnancy, she's kept herself locked up inside the temple.
Did she know Suto?
Suto after her, but I don't believe she gave him any attention.
Mm-hmm.
But they knew each other.
They went to the same school.
Yes, they did. They went to the same school. They lived at the same school for a period of time.
Okay. Well, thank you, Father, for answering my questions.
Of course. Anytime.
Thank you for your time out of your day.
Yes.
Thank you.
Anybody else have anything?
Mm-mm. No, it did. Cordova thanks him as well. Like, obviously, happy to see him again. This is interesting stuff, though.
Mm-hmm.
This is interesting stuff. I think.
Father, one more question.
Oh, yes, son.
Before y'all gave up looking for the body, how long did y'all look? Or was it just assumed she burned up? Did you look? Did y'all ever look?
We combed the wreckage for weeks.
Oh.
Ezekiel,
what race was he?
Ezekiel was a human.
Okay. Shut all my theories down.
I'm glad you got theories.
Yeah, Ezekiel was a human. Sorry, yes, we combed the wreckage for weeks. We didn't call off the search for Nualia's body until well after the wreckage had been cleared and she had been looked for about town and about the area for some time.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. All right. All right. Y'all go out of his office. And he does not close the door behind you. He leaves it open for anybody else who's willing, who wants to come in and speak with him. And there seems to be a little bit of a line built up.
Argus is
We've been there for a while.
Argus is moving really fast out the door.
Cordova's following you.
Yep. Same here.
When we get outside, I look at Cordova, and I'm assuming we just kind of give each other the same glare, because I think we're thinking the same thing.
What's on your mind, Argus?
She's not dead.
I never thought she was.
There's no body. Now there's motive for the burning of the church.
Mm-hmm.
She's having a demon child, and we have a necromancer.
Well, I'm not going to push it that far.
Well,
I'm going to say that she has the hatred for the town to cause the raids. I would bet money she might be one of our two Longshanks.
She does have something against the town, as does Suto.
You're right, but she had a baby that's a stillborn, and instead of it being described as a baby, they described it as a monster.
Monster, yes.
I could see that messing with someone, but why? Why was the baby a monster? Why wasn't it normal? I don't think she worshipped Desna.
Cordova.
Mm-hmm.
You're pretty in tune with the deities, right? Like you're you kind of.
They speak to me.
They speak to you.
Apparently.
Well, I will say you've been feeling kind of uneasy since you got into this town.
Yeah, he's not been doing well, especially with the more recent. Once he mentioned the stillborn, yeah, he's been a little shaky.
Yeah, there's definitely a presence in this town. There's a feeling to it that you can't quite tell if it's the fact that you just came back in time and you're trying to fix all this stuff and you're stressed out, or if there's something darker around. So, you definitely feel that there's some some presence, some evil, maybe.
Argus looks at Cordova, like still having their conversation. The scales are not right. They're not balanced.
Absolutely not. I have to agree with you. There's something happening in this town. Something's wrong.
We must go talk to the goblin. But on our way there, I need to get salt, vinegar, and pickles.
Excuse me?
Just trust me.
And on our way there, I'm gonna have to cut you off in like 5 minutes because I gotta work tomorrow.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. All right, so on your way there, of course, you walk past a couple of street vendors and you sneak a pinch of salt and grab a pickle off
No,
someone's
no,
cart with the
no,
other
no,
hand.
no. I need a bag of salt, a jar of pickles, and a bottle of vinegar.
Oh.
Well, hi.
Well, Amiko might have those things.
Yeah, so let's go
Yeah,
by
maybe
there and
go
we'll
to
see if she
Amiko.
has them.
All right.
Hey.
No need to steal them.
No, we're not going to steal them. We're going to borrow them.
All right. Y'all here. Gotta find. Where is it?
Well,
Oh shoot.
Oh shoot!
All right, y'all go to the Rusty Dragon. Boom, boom.
ba-ba-da.
All right. Y'all get there, and Amiko is there, as well as a handful of other patrons. All right, what y'all?
I tell everybody I'm just going to run in and ask if I can have them. That way we don't have any strange conversations with Amiko about all the information we just found out.
About her family.
Yeah.
And maybe it's best we don't all face her at once. We found out more than I was expecting to.
Yeah. So I run in, and I'm like,
All right.
Amiko.
What you need, hon?
Hey, I'm going to go talk to a goblin, and I was wondering if maybe possibly you had a bag of salt, a jar of pickles, and some vinegar.
She looks at you like, "Whoa."
They're all the goblins' favorite foods.
Yeah, I mean it's yeah, just look in the back.
Do you mind if I take them?
Yeah, that's fine. I would say I'll add it to your tab, but you don't have a tab, so it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
I'll bring back what I don't use.
That's perfect.
Okay. So I grab all the stuff I needed.
All right, and y'all move on to. Oh, I've got to. Dang it! I can't find the thing I'm looking for. Oh, y'all are all moved around now. Hold on. Sorry, I got to put y'all in places so I can copy and paste you.
Oh, we're gonna go back somewhere else.
Yeah.
We're going to the goblin.
Yeah.
Okay. On the way to the goblin, I would like to ask about the Harpy's Curse, just to whoever's standing around. Maybe there's a poster. This play.
Yeah.
At the theater, and maybe like somebody knows what it's about.
Try and roll a local.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Aw.
Here, I'll do
I got
another roll
12.
since I have diplomacy.
I really just want to find out if the Harpy's Curse is based on true stories.
24. I got a 21 out of that one.
Ah, shit, of course you would roll well.
That's literally the only answer I'm looking for is the Harpy's Curse based on a true story?
No.
Okay.
No, it is not. It is a fictional story about a harpy.
Okay.
Or is it about a harpy? It might be about a metaphor.
I don't know. It's called the Harpy's Curse. If
All right.
you actually have that to play out, then I'm interested.
I don't have it yet, but I will. Now that y'all have asked about it. I'll figure that out.
If it's not a
All
thing, you don't have to put it in there. I'm just curious.
No, I'll make it a thing.
Oh.
So technically, like
weird
y'all can audition for a show. Like y'all can audition for a show. And if y'all want to do that, I have to make it happen.
I feel like I'm more interested in solving the mystery of this town than being in a play.
Yes,
Right.
I would agree. Musashi would just turn his head and go,
Hey,
no.
the stuff we do in town, does it affect like our diplomacy, like how much people like us?
Yeah, actually, it does.
Okay.
So, like, I was gonna bring that out later, but like, I mean, as y'all are making your way down to the garrison, like you're definitely getting looks from people around the town, and you see a beautiful young woman with kind of light auburn hair and green eyes and dimples. She's actually portrayed by Natalie Dormer. And as y'all walk by, she's kind of, looking y'all up and down, taking measurements of each of you. Yeah. The whole town seems to know who you are by now. People are greeting you and shaking your hand and
Do I
thanking you
recognize
for
her
your
from the
service.
poster of the Harpy's Curse?
No, you don't.
Okay. I guess that's not Alashonda then.
It's not Alashonda.
All right. So we notice her looking us up and down then?
Yeah, y'all notice her. Y'all notice her.
I
Y'all can
like-
stop and talk to her if you like, but yeah, or y'all can keep moving on. She'll be
Argus
around.
is gonna keep moving on. He's excited to go talk to the goblin.
I'm gonna
Can I
take note
give
of it.
her? Yeah, I'll take note of it. Can I give her kind of a little bit of a intimidating stare? She's staring at me there.
Why
Harshly.
do you want to intimidate her?
Oh, Alden.
Well,
Alden,
kind of
Yeah.
looking me up.
who is that?
That is Shayless Vinda.
I knew it was worth it to bring him around. And who is Shayless Vinda?
Oh, Shayless is Vin's youngest daughter. She's quite a figure around town.
Are
if
you
know
telling
what I
me
mean.
that beautiful woman came from Ben Vinder?
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Yes. Right?
Unbelievable.
There we go. That's it. Found who I was looking for.
All
right.
Well, we'll take a note of that, but I don't. There's nothing drawing me to talk to her at the moment.
At the moment. All right. So yeah, y'all make it down to the
Wait.
garrison. You're here.
Y'all want to call it a night at the garrison?
I'd say so. It's already 10.
Yeah, probably.
All right.
Okay.
So as y'all walk into the garrison, you see sheriff is talking to somebody. Oh, just stretched out somebody really badly.
Argus
Yeah.
is really fat now.
You see the sheriff talking to somebody. Fix it. You see a young half-elven woman with a bow strapped across her back and a sword hanging from her hip. And she, as y'all walk in, the sheriff says, Gentlemen, I'm glad you could make it. I'd like to introduce you to a dear friend of mine, someone who's just made their way back to town. Shalelu and Delusa.
Nice to meet you, Shalelu. Can I go speak to the goblin?
Yep. And this can be the end of the night if that's what y'all want.
Shalelu.
Or do you want to talk to the goblin first?
No,
I'm
I
fine
really
with
gotta pee.
Yeah, and we got to
Good call
discuss
out.
things before we interrogate this goblin at some point. At least me and
Yeah.
Casey will.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll try to have a game. Let's say we'll try to have a game Wednesday night if we can all make it.
Okay.
If that's good for everybody, so that way we can get in one more session before you leave for vacation, Devin.
Yeah. We'll
I'm just
give it a shot.
I'm just playing every day by day right now. So as long as it's another role playing thing like this, I think I should be good. If I'm still in
Okay.
the hospital.
Okay. I mean, you're gonna kick this thing's ass. You're gonna be back in no time.
I'm
I
bringing
hope
this
so.
information to work with me tomorrow and pine over what I've learned.
Yeah. Hey, you recorded this, right?
I did. It is
Because I
recording.
couldn't make notes. Okay. Cool.
It is recording.
Thanks,
right.
guys.
All right.